YouTube. Today is the 1 week update of my user experience with the Apple Watch Ultra. Let me go ahead and slide this on. As you can see, I have paired it with the Solo Loop braided band. Now this is just my comfort band right here. But give me a second, let me hit my little code. Why you so close, player? You know what I mean? Back up. This band is strictly just for my comfort, lax, like typical use. Now, when I want to sauce it up, you guys saw, if you watched any of my previous Apple Watch Ultra videos, which I hope you watched them all, I put this leather link band on here, and this just gives the watch the ultimate swag and just like that more like luxury style. I love it with this band. But when I'm not wanting to wear that band, I just want something lightweight and just everyday. I love this Solo braided loop. So, I took a trip to the Apple store and picked up some bands and so forth. I got previous bands. You guys know in the Apple ecosystem, all of the Apple Watch bands work with the Apple Watch. Now, with that being said, let's start our 1 week update of the Apple Watch Ultra. So let me start off discussing like the design of the watch and the user experience that it yields. Now, this is a nice big watch, big display, big body, hefty little weight to it with the, what is it, like 61, 63 grams or whatever. It has that nice titanium material. There's also ceramic on this thing. A lot of premium build quality has went into this watch. And, it's chunky. And a lot of people's first concern is gonna be, how does it wear? Now, I have approximately a 6-inch wrist, so I don't have like the biggest, chunkiest wrist, but yet this watch wears just fine for me personally. As someone who's been wearing it, you got it on your wrist. I'm on the game. I'm playing COD, Call of Duty Warzone. I'm moving my wrist around. Now, me personally, I'm not the type of person that likes to work out with smartwatches on. It's just typically not my thing. If I were going to work out with a smartwatch, I would probably go for this smaller, 41 millimeter Series 8 right here with this loop right here. This thing is like weightless. Or I could go with like my Galaxy Watch 5, but maybe with a different band and so forth. If I were just looking for that workout, typically I'm a workout with my watch. So the feel of it from like a workout perspective, not so much, but I'm not like a still human. I'm not like a chill, like, laxing person. Like I move around a lot. I'm sure a lot of you guys can tell that I have a lot of energy. So, just my everyday living is kind of like a workout. Nevertheless, I'm always moving around and grooving, grinding, and doing my thing, running my business and so forth. So from that standpoint and that user experience, it's been fine. It may be worrisome for some. I don't want you just running out there grabbing this massive watch that's massive to you. But at the end of the day, you can try it. And if you don't like it, return it. It's as simple as that as far as the size goes. But I'm loving the build quality of this thing. It's built to be durable. It's built to last. It's built to handle the everyday person. Oh, and if it's not clear by now, this is a review from an everyday, typical smartwatch user's perspective. I'm not an all-terrain, adventurous person. I just got a lot of energy and I love tech. That's the type of person that you get in here. I get a lot of notifications. I get a lot of use out of this watch. So I'm pulling on the battery. I'm using it. I'm just not using it for all that other stuff. You got it. And I honestly believe the majority of people who will purchase this watch are kind of on the same wave. That small percentage of people that actually are going to use those features, which is fire. And I think it's great that they're there. They'll benefit from those more. Even though I love this watch face. Like, let me turn on this watch face. This compass, fidget spinner all day. Someone like me, who some of y'all probably think I got like ADHD or something like that. Fidget spinner. Every time I turn on this watch or I look at it, I gotta play with that compass. I love it. Build quality is there. It has a slightly raised lip, and it's a flat design. So like if you were to bump into something that's hopefully flat, it's a lot less likely to hit the display. Now, jagged areas, you're gonna take it onto this display. It's supposed to be some of the most durable, glass out there or whatever, so they claim. So I'm not gonna test that. No, not intentionally. I'm gonna keep this bad boy looking good. You feel me? Apple, I think they've knocked it out of the park this year around. This is that exciting Apple product year. I see a lot of comments from Apple users just telling me that this is the first time in a long time that they're excited about an Apple product. You know, shout out to you, Tim Apple. You did it again. Uh-oh. I'm doing good, but I'm gonna tell you now, I ain't looking for no Spectrum services.
Okay, so what are you receiving that we don't offer?
You guys do not have fiber internet. They realized quick they wasn't getting no service out of me. Come on, player. Like, I got fiber optic internet for cheaper than what they was charging. Back to my Apple Watch Ultra review that I was rudely interrupted from. Jeez. All right, let's talk about the look of this watch. I think it's up in the air and it's a preference. A lot of people are excited about the look of this smartwatch. They love the way that it wears on the wrist. Some people just love the, you know, I guess the masculine vibe, the big watch vibe, the tactical kind of ish vibe of this watch, and the action button. And I think the action button is cool and it has a lot of potential for the future. There's an area for shortcuts. So I think in due time, like, you know, you could program like some fire shortcuts, hopefully in the future. I'm not sure how it works. I didn't play with the shortcut feature yet, but it's there. So that shows me that this button is going to be allowed to do a lot more in the future with Apple. But for me right now, I just tap it and I will start a workout. You know what I mean? And I think it's set for my walks. So let's go ahead. How do you stop? I need to stop this. Hold on, player. I ain't going nowhere. That's super fire. And you know what's great about that is because typically, you know, with the auto activation of workouts, it'll pick up that you're walking and stuff and you start it. But the ending part is always like, you know, iffy with these things. Hey, I just hit my action button and I'm good to go. And I don't know why I'm starting another workout right now. What's going on? Did I just hit that? Oh, it's saying mark segment. Oh, that's how you mark it. Got you. Okay, how do I end? Wait, hold on. I ain't gonna cap, y'all. You know, the typical way that I end it would be like, it'll pop up and say, hey, are you still walking? And I'll be like, nah. As I said before, I'm not wearing big watches for workouts. So the only workout I typically use it for is like a walk or a run. If I run, I need to run more. You know, my sport of choice is basketball, and you don't wear watches when you hoop. So let's carry on. The look, that's what I was talking about. The look of it is just up for the people who like it, who enjoy it. I think it looks great. I think it looks good. And I'm with everyone who would love more color features. I would have loved the black version, matte black version. I would love even a red version. Red's my favorite color. So I'm gonna be, hey, Tim. But nevertheless, I think in the future they'll probably do that. But the unpolished titanium, I think it works. I think it's very subtle. It's not too much. It's just Apple also knows that the people who wanted the bigger battery on the normal Apple Watch are gonna buy this. The people who wanted a larger display on the normal Apple Watch are gonna buy this. Let's segment into display. A lot of people are gonna say, oh, it's only 0.02 inches bigger. Here's the difference. It's a flat display. I don't have my other Apple Watches on. Every OLED panel on these previous Apple Watch builds have a rounded edge, and that panel is going over that rounded edge. So you don't get the true feeling of the full size of that display panel. But when absolutely flat and laid out for you, you see the full screen real estate. And that's clutch. It's just so much easier, and there's so much more room and real estate, and it's very reminiscent of a smartphone. It's literally like having the smartphone on your wrist. The 2000 nit peak brightness. Going outside and looking at this watch is absolutely easy, and you never have to question the visibility because it's always there. It's so much punch and pop and light in this display. Even in low light situations, the visibility is phenomenal. It's just like you really see the true vibrancy and color representation and clarity of this OLED panel. It's like really, really good. That's my biggest thing of what I love about it, is every time I get a notification, when I get screenshots from the cameras and or photos or videos or whatever, it all looks so great and so clear. And a big reason to that is the brightness. That light just adds to the visual clarity of this panel. Now, another thing with this OLED panel that you get which is nothing new, is the always on display, as you can see right there. And being able to have all of this information just from a quick peek without me having to drain nearly as much battery, which we'll talk about battery in a little bit. It's just another great feature to have. All right, the next category I want to speak about is the speaker and call quality and clarity and things like that. I've taken numerous phone calls on this Apple Watch Ultra, and I've never had anyone complain about my sound that speaks volumes. You know, the speakers are good on the regular Apple Watches, so I'm not gonna make it seem as if that's a selling point for it. But I basically just wanna emphasize how great call quality is on this Apple Watch Ultra. I've taken a ton of calls on here over my smartphone because it's easier to just hit answer right here. That's why we like smartwatches, right? All right, so I just wanna demonstrate really quick as far as the typing experience. I was quickly able to type that sentence. And then having that on this size of a OLED panel is just so much easier to interact with, to get that accuracy. This is why we get smartwatches, so that we can handle things from here as opposed to having to pull out our smartphone device. And that's the luxury. Let's get into the price point. The price point on this Apple Watch Ultra is a hefty $799. Now, some people have a problem with that. Some people feel it's perfectly justified. No matter where you land, it is what it is. That is the price point. This thing comes with LTE, premium build, all around, awesome features that are for those people who are the adventurer and so forth. But my main reason for justifying this, number one, I've already been willing to experience the stainless steel Apple Watch, which is only $50 cheaper than this. So $50 more, and I get all of this. I get the large display that I like, the flat large display. Relax, trolls. I get display brightness like no other, beautiful call quality, speaker volume. I get the battery life that we've never seen to date on an Apple Watch, and so much more. Build quality, titanium. It's just a whole kit and caboodle build that kind of justifies it for me personally. This is just for me, my user experience. I was fine with the price point. And it doesn't mean that you have to be. Feel how you want to feel. Okay, let's talk about the most controversial topic, because it's the most subjective topic and it varies user by user, and that is battery life. Now, when it comes to battery life on the Apple Watch Ultra, for me, it's been pretty darn good. I won't lie. It is easily a 3-day battery for most people. And actually, I'm gonna say more than that for those people who are more conservative, but I can confidently give it a 3-day battery. I've consistently got about that 2.5 to 3-day mark, but I've been on it heavy because I am in not just the honeymoon phase, but I'm in review mode, which means I'm messing with it, touching it. I'm trying to see what all it can do. So I'm drawing on it a little bit more than I would in the future when it becomes more casual for me, if that makes sense. So confidently a 3-day battery, and if you want to tweak your settings, turn off always on display, go into low power mode, you're beyond that. And shout out to you, Tim Apple, for putting a 542 milliamp hour battery, like over 70% larger than a 45 millimeter Apple Watch. Thank you. We appreciate you. Now it's time for the most important topic to ever discuss in a review, and that is user experience. It's what matters most. When you go to spend your hard-earned $799 on the Apple Watch Ultra, what experience are you expected to get? Or what is my user experience that I've experienced over this week that I can share with you? My perspective with this review is all just a typical everyday average user, smartwatch user that does not involve a ton of adventurous activity. I don't scuba dive. I don't go on trails that are like not the standard trails where you know your way or where you're going and getting back. None of those things are really up my alley. I'm a city boy from LA City. I'm from South Central LA. You do the math. But all in all, I'm a tech enthusiast who loves smartwatches. I'm your smartwatch guru. You better believe that. I actually put up a 1-week review after using this device for at least 6 to 7 days and not 2 to 3 days later. My perspective is as someone who has a ton of experience with smartwatches. Check the channel, check my videos. You'll see my track record. I use a lot of smartwatches and I enjoy them. So I had to experience this Apple Watch Ultra. My user experience, if you can't tell from my enthusiasm and my truth that I speak to this content, it's enjoyable. It all caters to what we've been missing in the previous Apple Watch models. The battery life, phenomenal. What? I don't have to charge my Apple Watch every day? You know, the Apple Watch used to be rated at up to 18 hours. And here we have a rating of up to 36 hours. That's a huge improvement and is greatly welcome. The attention to detail for safety. The fact that if I were to have an accident and possibly become unable to communicate that I am in need of help, this watch will do that for me, as well as the iPhone. It's just those little details, those things that you may not think about that are actually really useful. Now, I know there's the jokes around, Apple Watches saving lives and so forth, but let's be real. Apple has put a strong focus into safety features that are extremely useful. Hopefully, you don't and I don't ever need to use any of those features, but it's great that they're there. I have the size, I have the display, I have so many features. I have so many things that I never thought that would be given in an Apple Watch here in the Ultra, and I appreciate that. Like this watch face, for instance. This is a new watch face that I absolutely love and enjoy. It has so many great features that complement the Apple Watch Ultra, but what I love even more is the amount of complications that you can have on this watch face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like 8 complications along with this, my fidget spinner compass that I love and enjoy to use, you see me? But like at the look of my watch, I have so much information being given to me. Weather conditions, how far is my parked car, access to the timer really quick. I have my date. This typically is my schedule, but I don't need y'all all up in my business. Sometimes it might be confidential. Also, I have a digital representation of the time on this watch. I got my battery life left and weather conditions. I got the date, which just adds to my overall user experience on this Apple Watch Ultra thus far. I'll say this. Some of the questions some people might want to wonder. Is it worth $799? As I said previously, it's kind of up to you and how you value your money and what your budget is. But for me personally, it is. Now, there's also discussions as to whether or not you should upgrade to this and where you stand. What Apple Watch are you coming from? I've been seeing a lot of Series 3 Apple Watch users take the jump into this, and that makes sense. That's a huge upgrade, and I think they're going to be phenomenally impressed. But even me, as someone who uses the up-to-date Apple Watch year after year, I'm even impressed with this Apple Watch Ultra because a lot of the things about it fit me personally. The battery life, the screen size, the build quality, all of those things are things that I value and I appreciate in this Apple Watch Ultra build. So to me, it was exciting. It was enjoyable. And so far it's been that. So whether or not you should get an Apple Watch Ultra or whether or not it's worth the price point is 100,000% up to you.